Welcome everybody to the JJ and Pug Show. It is, what is it? November 14th, 2024.
This is such a good song.
Yeah. So you didn't send me one. You already told me right. So I decided what I would do is I would pick a song.
Dude, this song, I saw these guys live. I went and saw POD, right, of all people. Yeah, it was phenomenal. And
they have
Chevelle,
one song that I remember.
right, and Chevelle was there. Chevelle was the headliner later, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, I don't know who Chevelle is, but then I do. I just didn't know the name of the band. I knew the songs. Yeah. So anyway, these guys opened for him, and I'm like, okay, like hang on, and it is just so good.
Dude, every time this always freaks me out. Like, I'm not like, is it working? Yeah, it's working. Sometimes when the screen shuts off, I'm like,
is it working?
Yeah. No, but yeah, dude, this, you better believe we played a lot of this during Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great song for it.
Oh, it's just so good. It's like old school kind of punk, but not. Like, it's just, to me, so much to it.
What it reminds me of, it's like, honestly, this is like a really hardcore follow-up to Thriller.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's a soup, but it's like, it's good.
Have you seen the video?
No, I haven't.
It's dark.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't watched that one.
It's an interesting video. It's not like I thought it was going to be, but
really?
They have a few good ones. This is Werewolf. They've got
so to pay it off,
yes.
What this is Motionless in White. Song is called Werewolf.
A phenomenal name.
It's really
phenomenal
good.
name.
Oh, yeah.
Motionless in White.
Yeah, whatever. The name is like whatever that means. Whatever. But the song is really cool.
Yes, and Masterpiece is another one of their big hits, and it is so good.
So, again, the whole story was you didn't send me one, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go off of one that you suggested to me that I really liked, and I really liked this song.
This is a great song.
It got a lot of play during Halloween. So, November 14th, 2024, this is the JJ and Pug Show, recording from the Highland Communities Podcast Studio. And you know what today also is, what this episode happens to be?
100?
The 75th.
Dang, dude.
75th episode, man. We, like that... That's some sort of milestone,
almost
right?
Joe Rogan size, bro. It's crazy.
I mean, but that's like a legit milestone, I feel like. 75 episodes, and we stuck with it, man.
We have pushed this out for all of 2024 so far.
Dude, yeah, we're almost completely full calendar year.
Yeah, we barely skate in some weeks. We missed a few things here and there. But for the most part.
We took a couple weeks off from Maine, whatever. But then this one was like, hey, listen, life gets in the way. And when this isn't your full-time job,
it is what it is.
It's got to take a back seat sometimes.
Yeah, like sometimes it just doesn't work. Most of the time it will, but we got to be ready for that. Yeah. So it's fine.
So you want a back scratcher, dude?
Scratch?
Oh, it's the best.
Okay, this literally says bareback.
Bareback. So listen, that part right there is like for the soft scratch. Look at the bottom. You flip it around, it's got like a real claw.
Some real teeth on there, dude.
It is legit. I got one in like every room in my house.
I feel like you're combing your back hair with this.
Dude. Do you ever get those like ads through Instagram where it's like how to shave your back? I'm like, who doesn't think I don't have a hairy back?
I know, but
because I'm a middle-aged man.
Dude, go to the freaking go to the pool and you like the public pools. You see these guys walking around, you're like, what? That's got to be some kind of crossbreeding within the hair. like somewhere in there something happened, dude.
Speaking of werewolf,
yeah, dude, you're looking at it like, wait a minute, dude. Yeah, I'll tell you, I went to school with this kid. His name was Chris Orr, right? He was a 16-year-old, 17-year-old kid. I think he was a year older than me. I was a junior. He was a senior.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy would make your beard look juvenile. He was like 17, but he was hairy everywhere. Dude, his shoulder, cat, everything. I was like,
I wonder if he's got any hair in his head now.
Probably not. He was actually losing his hair.
Oh, yeah.
Like at a young age, he was losing his hair.
Yeah.
I bet you I could Google, I could Facebook stalk him somewhere and find him because I'm sure we're friends of friends or he still has it. But dude, it was crazy how much of he looked almost like Wolverine, Hugh Jackman style. He'd cut his beard like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, it was great. And I'm like, how do you have that much hair? I barely have any peach fuzz here, bro. So, like, how does that work?
This is something I wrote down. Is a topic. We don't really have a whole lot of talking points right now for part one of the 2-part show that we always do, because the election's over. We know what happened.
Landslide, wave, whatever you want to call it, happened.
Yeah, it happened last time. We talked about that. And there's a whole lot of discussing and explaining as to why, what went down, how it went down, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to get into that. But it made me think about this quite a bit. Why don't we love The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, like we loved Stallone and Schwarzenegger?
I think we don't, because we like Stallone and Schwarzenegger still. No matter what, they'll always be those guys. I think this new generation, The Rock is those guys to him.
But the problem is when you look at like the money made by the movies, The Rock's movies don't make the money.
Really?
Not like if you were like because the thing, okay, name one like Rock. Like this is a great movie by The Rock.
Well, the only things that immediately come to mind are like Jumanji, right? Because it's popular. Because it's got popular. Kevin Hart, Jack Black,
but it's not The Rock that makes it great.
San Andreas was okay. I mean, I didn't mind it.
I love disaster movies, so I'm a sucker for those.
Yeah, it was cheesy, and I don't think it caught near as much as they wanted to. I never saw the monkey one.
Oh, Rampage?
Yeah, I never saw that.
There's a reason why you didn't see it.
Okay, fair. Moana, phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, Moana's great. Yeah. But you're going to watch that.
He's not the Rock in that. He's not the Rock in it.
Right. And then the other one was that, what was that? The Skyscraper? Did you ever watch that one?
Nope.
Great. Prime example. You're not going to.
Yeah.
Right. You're not going to watch that movie.
I'm trying to figure out what else he's in. He's in a slew of these kid movies too, right?
Yeah, like the Tooth Fairy, I think is one of them.
What's the one where he's the football player and he's got a daughter that shows up?
Is it the Tooth Fairy?
I have no idea what it's called. I don't think it's called Tooth Fairy, but
I think that's what it's called.
No. It wouldn't be called Tooth Fairy. It's a football movie.
I'm almost positive it's called the Tooth Fairy.
His name is Joe in it or
you
something.
Looking it up?
Right? Yeah, I'm going to look it up.
Okay, because I was going to say, I'm almost positive it's called the Tooth Fairy, man.
Joe or The Rock. I don't even know what you put that. No, it's not Tooth Fairy.
Dwayne Johnson. But okay, he's got what I'm coming at is he's got a lot of duds. And he's got a lot of okay movies. The one movie that I would say is my favorite Rock movie is actually
Game Plan.
What's one of the Tooth Fairy? I know he's a Tooth Fairy in a movie.
Maybe he dresses like for like a like for her and like so I don't know.
No, I'm telling you, it's Tooth Fairy.
No, there is a movie called Tooth Fairy.
But I'm almost positive he's the Tooth Fairy.
Okay, but I'm talking about a movie called Game Plan. You're talking about the movie called Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
But he's in it, and I'm pretty sure he plays a football player in both of them.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. I'm just saying, I can see his list of movies right here. One of them
I can tell you this right now. I have not seen either one. I've seen clips, but there's a reason why.
The Gridiron Gang. Another
Gridiron
movie.
Gang, yeah.
I mean, I think I saw half of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, for me, the reason why I look at it and say, like, the one movie, it is called Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, it's literally called Tooth Fairy, but I don't know that maybe he is a football player.
Oh, no, he's a hockey player.
Those aren't even remotely the same.
Yeah. A bad deed on the part of a tough minor league hockey player results in an unusual sentence. He must serve 1 week as a real-life Tooth Fairy. Let me tell you what now, that sounds terrible.
That sounds miserable.
But it also sounds like a Disney movie made for teens.
He's in a lot of the Fast and the Furious stuff. Like later on, he plays that. That's where I think for me, he probably does his best movie play because he's just
but he's not the guy.
Law enforcement, like crusher of souls, right? Like,
yeah, but he's also not like you're not going to see the Fast and Furious for The Rock, right?
Yeah, The Rundown was good with Sean William Scott. That was the one I was
going to say. That is the one movie I can say like this is The Rock's best movie. The Rundown was awesome.
That was funny.
That was a good one. That was like one of his first movies too.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it's like
Walking Tall is another good one.
I did like Walking Tall. Much more serious.
Because that one, which was the one where he plays the guy that comes back, has to take over the meth in the town.
That's the Walking Tall.
That's Walking Tall, right?
Yeah.
I like that one. He comes in with that 2x4 with the
that one was legit.
You got a tail light out, smash, dude.
Yes. Yeah. No, that one was good, but that was also one of those things where, like I said, like it was a much more serious movie, and certainly like way early in his career. Outside of that, it's like a whole bunch of okay movies, not great.
I mean, he's in The Mummy Returns, Scorpion King.
Yeah,
those are old school 2000s movies. They aren't good.
And he barely is in The Mummy Returns.
Pain and Gain.
Mark Pain Wahlberg. And Gain. Did you ever see that one?
I saw the part. I've seen it enough to know, like, if I saw it on TV, I would know what it is.
I would know what it is.
I couldn't tell you the storyline just because I didn't pay attention enough, but I just remember him and Mark Wahlberg getting jacked in that movie.
I know it has to do with basically steroid guys in Miami.
Perfect.
That much what? Yeah, that's what I know. But I don't know what
Hercules.
Never saw it.
No, Central Intelligence. That's one.
That's funny.
There's a funny one where
that's more Kevin Hart than it is The Rock.
I love the meme of him when he's all jacked and he looks in the mirror and it's his fat farmer self. And everybody, when I missed the gym for a day.
My favorite one is when from that movie is when Kevin Hart's like, "Man, you got in great shape. How did you do it?" "Oh, just years and years of eating right and working out and super exercise all the time." And everyone's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to do that."
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I love the memes that say that. Yeah, chicken and broccoli, and then in the back you see a little vial of Tren on the counter. Oh, gosh.
Anyway,
I don't see a lot of movies. G.I. Joe, he's in G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Terrible movie. Terrible movie.
These are his top 25 movies, and we are literally
crapping on all of them.
I mean, Jumanji.
Okay, Jumanji was good, though. I will say that. It was a fun movie. It's a fun movie.
Both of them are good movies.
They're fun movies.
I mean, Smolder, that's a big deal.
It's good. It's good. Like I said, it's a fun movie, but it's not like an amazing movie. But when I think of like Arnold, and when I think of Stallone,
well, Stallone had Rocky, and he had Rambo.
Yeah,
like those were like huge imprints on our youth, dude. Like,
and dude, Demolition Man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know,
but legitimately, like he had some actual like real characters that were like multiple sequels.
Yeah, and then he comes up with the Expendables.
Yeah, do you know what? Those ones are cool.
That one was just
those are cool.
That's one of those maybe terrible bad movies. Exactly. That's just so good.
It knows what it is and it plays hard into it.
Anywhere where you've got a guy holding an automatic shotguns in both hands, anybody with a level head of testosterone in their body is like, yes.
I'm telling you, they're just cool movies.
Yeah,
like they're not trying to be anything other than just, hey, you know what? You want to sit back and watch some cool action?
You want an action movie? Here we go. We're not going to even put anything up. We're going to throw in a little love story. So it keeps,
is there a love story?
It's the chick. Remember that he goes back for the girl.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know if I call it a love story, but it makes it to where maybe a female would be interested in the movie a little bit.
maybe, or more maybe for the guy to be like, hey, maybe this girl's in it, and I'll see.
Yeah, maybe, yeah,
maybe because 80s movies. That's what they did.
Phenomenal.
But like, I don't know. They were cool movies.
They were cool.
They were also so many throwbacks.
Yeah.
Like when Arnold shows up, he goes, "Hasta la vista." It's like,
yeah, and you've got the guy from the Russians in it from Rocky. Dude.
Yeah, like, Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, you've just got so much.
All of these people. 80s got
Randy Couture's in it.
Dude, isn't Van Damme? Van Damme's got to be in it at some point.
Oh yeah, he is absolutely.
And somehow Kelsey Grammer makes his way into the movie. Don't know how that one happened.
Well, and then there's a few other guys that just come out of nowhere, and you're like, where have you been?
It's like all the action
Terry
stars.
Crews, I think, is in it.
Terry Crews is in it. Oh, who's the British guy? The martial arts British guy. He did The Transporter.
Oh, like Jason Statham.
He's in it. Like it's basically the action stars.
I love his role in it too because he's like the silent assassin. He's just always quick and he does a great job.
But what's funny about that is The Rock in them.
The Rock's not one
because we don't look at The Rock.
He's a wrestler.
Yeah, well, we don't think of him as like I don't know. I'm trying not to crap on The Rock because he's a good dude.
Well, right.
He's a cool guy. Like I go and see his movies. They're fine, but like. When you think of Schwarzenegger, you think of like, dude, Terminator. Like he was the Terminator.
He was.
You think of Predator.
Oh, just a great movie.
This is one that people don't really like a whole lot, but I really like it. The Last Action Hero.
Oh, I love that movie.
Dude, I think that's a really awesome movie.
I could watch that all day.
I mean, we talked about True Lies, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got all these movies. You're like, dude, freaking Schwarzenegger he is the Governator, man. I don't know. It's
so crazy.
It's just something I thought of, especially because I saw these ads for the new Schwarzenegger or the new Rock movie coming out. It's some Christmas movie. I have no idea. My wife and we're watching.
Is it the Santa Claus thing?
Yeah, and it's just like what Red One is what it's called.
Yeah.
And we're like, what is this? What movie even is this?
They just throw him in to try to get people in the theater.
That's exactly what it is. And when you watch it, you're like, this is fine. But I mean, I guess people pay for the money, so that's what the studio wants.
That's all they want, dude.
So hey,
not for me.
Not for me either. That's all I had for this one. Like I just was thinking as far as like non-sports topics. That's about all I got for that.
Yeah, there hasn't been much going on anyway.
I mean, unless you want to talk about like people getting appointed to different offices by Trump, which is not something I really want to talk about.
I don't either, but I do think it's funny that like it's just funny to see one. I watched The View. The View is a terrible show. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You cannot believe any of the nonsense that spews out of these ladies' mouths.
It's pretty awful.
In fact, did you see that Candace Owens and I think her name's Tommy Lauren. I think it's her. They some news network paid them $700 million to compete against The View.
What?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's their contract is $700 million to go on either with the same time. I don't know how it's going to work, but it's basically a conservative point of view versus this liberal nonsense that's over on The View.
The problem is with The View is it's not even liberal nonsense. It's just nonsense.
You're right.
It's just nonsense.
It's out of control. Like they just talk to talk and then they feed off of each other and it's gross.
Because we use the example. And again, I'm not a Trump fan.
Yeah.
But he was a favorite of The View prior to him running for president.
Of course.
And But the minute he becomes a Republican nominee,
had he ran for Democratic nominee, it'd have been a different story.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's not even just liberal. It's just garbage.
It is.
It's just garbage from start to finish.
Yeah. So
it's amazing how much of a long run it's had.
But I love to watch The View just melt down. Basically, you're like, oh, the American people voted for this. You're going to separate families, and I'm like, I get so tired of the separated families thing. Because what's that guy's name? The new Borders are. Have you seen him?
Oh no.
She's like, they're going to separate families, and he's like, no, they can go with them too. Like,
well, the thing that drives me nuts about that is that actually started under Barack Obama's administration. But we don't talk about it because we didn't have the visuals.
Well, and you see this. There's a clip playing right now all over social media with that OAC or AOC, whatever her dumb bartender name is, because she's from New York. She is completely off the rails, not smart. That's the best politically way I could put it without calling her a bad name. But she comes in and she's like talking about separation of kids and how they're going to separate families. And the guy's like, when you arrest somebody in the States and they have a kid in the car, you separate them from their parents.
Yeah.
It's what you do. And she's like, well, if they're illegally here and they're seeking asylum, they're not illegal. I'm like, how can you use the word illegal in a sentence and say they're not illegal when you said they're illegal?
Okay, so I got to tell you, by the way, look this up. The Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens show is satire. It's not a real story.
Oh, see,
not a real show.
I thought I actually saw it on 2 different platforms, dude.
So it says, fact check, CBS says it has not signed a deal with Megyn Kelly and Candace Owens. However, that'd be a pretty interesting show. Because that might also be like, when I say that The View is crap, this might also be crap.
It would be red crap. It would be crap on both scales, but they almost need something like that.
Yeah, and then it says the Megyn Kelly Candace Owens story about The View is satire. So it's probably something that somebody wrote like on The Onion and just
I saw it. That's funny. I actually looked at a couple different things to make sure. Because I was like, and I don't do the fact checking you do. I've learned that I just don't get butthurt when you check because I know it's coming. Every time I send you something, I'm like, well, I'm going to know if it's true. I'm just going to send it to Eric.
He'll find out.
Yeah, he'll tell me.
Like I said, when you told me that, I was like, it's a badge of honor, man. I don't even
care. Like, I'm like, yeah, you guys want to know? I'll find out. Hang on. Let me just send a text. And I'll just send you the text. And I'll be like, just wait. Nope. Not true.
Yeah, so I'm looking it up even on whatever the Snopes basically says it's a joke.
I'm going to officially classify you as my source, not use you by name.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Just as long as you don't mention by name, that's good. Anyway, anything else you want to talk about, bro? It's going to be like probably the shortest.
Yeah, like I don't know, like my kids are they want to come on. I think Ava wants to come on the show.
Hey, we'll bring her on here.
What do you want to talk about there, kid? Let me ask you this. Let's talk about this.
It'd be probably similar to what my kids do.
Ava, she's built like a tank. I love her, right? But she is. She's just athletic. She's tall, but she's kind of stocky. Yeah. She wants to play football. As a father of daughters, it's all I have. I would kill for a son to play football, right?
Yeah.
So like she's starting to play flag football. Now, my question is, one, would you let her play flag? Because I'll tell you, I will. Like,
I would
flag
absolutely
is fine.
let them play flag.
I don't care. Like they can do whatever, right? But in the event that she gets older and better, do you let your child play tackle football with boys in 7th and 8th grade?
So, okay, you and we talked about this a while ago where you said there was a girl on your team.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, everybody's goal was, and even whether it was spoken or unspoken, it was take her out.
Get her.
And I can tell you the same thing happened when I was in high school. We had a girl that played on the team. She was cool.
Yeah.
Right? She wanted to play, so you let her play. But it was also a matter of like, you can't win in any of the drills. You can't.
I'm not going to get beat by a girl.
Well, it's like spoken or unspoken, no guy is going to let himself be beat in this drill.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, I mean, I know this is outlawed in the NFL, but Oklahoma drill was like the number one drill you did.
They still
one-on-one. The NFL doesn't allow it anymore.
The NFL doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. I know it's outlawed there, but you can guarantee that every other level of football, they're doing the Oklahoma drill. Like it is like the essence of football.
Let's go.
Right, and you were not getting beat. You were not, and if you did, dude, you were going to hear it for the rest of your life. You were not going to let that down. Right? I still remember there was a guy that in high school that lost a wrestling match to a girl. Never lived it down ever.
Because we're just mean to each other.
Well, and not only that, but it's like, as that guy, like, there is no winning here. There is no winning. You win, you didn't win, right?
Yeah.
You lose, you've lost everything. Like there is.
I would just be like, I'm not wrestling a chick. It's not gonna happen. And I don't think there should be like there's certain things where like it would never be good. It would never take off. But I almost wish there was a female tackle football thing in high school and college. Let the girls play. They have powder puff. I've seen, right? Yeah. But then no, put them in pads. Get your offensive line chicks out there. Just develop it like a bunch of boys.
If they want to play, let them play.
If they want to play, but like let's make it a even playing field across there. Because when you get a 17-year-old boy whose testosterone is through the roof and muscle mass is stacking
escalating,
and you've got a woman who's got she's and I use the term woman because at 17, you're a woman. I mean, depending on how you classify it, I mean, some kids become a woman at 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to let them play against women. And I'm fine with that, but it's sort of that. It's like, what if she's really good? And you're like, nah, I got to be that bad. Hey, no, you're not. Like, maybe a kicker. Would you let your kid be a kicker? Would you let your daughter be a kicker?
But the problem is, hey, let's see if the kick gets blocked. You got to go and try and tackle him.
But here's the thing. It goes two ways, right? Yeah, we got to try to tackle him. And maybe I get ran over and I get hurt. But what if I crush the soul of a dude?
It's true.
What if she's like, you're like, whoa.
So I am fully on board with flag football. Like my neighbors, their daughters, they play and they love it, right? Yeah. And they're into it. Like they're at the game. They got the pictures. It's awesome. I'm all for that. Like, because I am all for women's sports. Like, dude, if my girls want to play anything, I am 100% with them. I'm going to support them all the way. But there is something where I'd say, like ultimate frisbee, are we going to play co-ed ultimate frisbee? Fine.
Yeah.
Right. That's not a contact sport, right? But when we're talking about anything that's a contact sport, like, no. That's not the same.
No, it's not. It's just like boxing matches. I mean, baseball could be a co-ed sport, right? Because there's really I'm just saying. I mean, yes, there's no physicality of like mano-a-mano. Like it's like, I mean, it would be hard because
here's an example.
Why did girls go with softball? That's a question that's always plagued me. Why didn't you just make girl baseball?
I don't like. Why didn't A League of Their Own continue?
Yeah, like why?
That's a good movie, by the way.
It is. Yeah, good pool. There's a bunch of people in that movie.
Yeah, but why didn't that one continue as like, hey, we're just going to play female baseball?
Yeah, like why did we have to give them a bigger ball, longer bats, and shorter field?
I don't know.
And then you give them underhand, but then you make them throw it in a weird way. Yeah. Like, can you throw the ball softball style?
Bro, no way. No way. I do remember this going back to when you saying like a co-ed. I remember as a freshman in the freshman baseball team, we played the JV and freshman, and I think at the time it was probably all together. The softball team, we crushed them. I've never felt more like a major leaguer in my life, dude. I was sending them over the fence. Like, and I was not a power hitter. Yeah. Not at all. Like, I was the kid that got on first, stole second, stole third, and that was it. Like, that's what I did. But it's not the same. Like, it's not the same.
I know, but why did they not just keep it baseball?
That's a good question. I don't even know what the history of softball is.
Can you imagine being the guy who's like, hey, it's like, have you seen Robin Williams' skit on golf, how golf was created?
You showed it to me,
That is kind of that idea, but with softball, right? Like, hey, no, let's give them a bigger ball. No, wait, here's a better idea. Let's have them spin their arm around and throw it underhand.
Have you ever seen it was a clip from the movie Magnificent
Seven?
No, 6. Ridiculous 6. It's an Adam Sandler. It's terrible. It is awful. But anyway, there's a clip in it about how they created baseball. And every single time somebody would do something, the guy would be like, no, we don't allow that. That's a ball. You can't throw it that low. No, that's a ball. And then he'd throw a strike. And like, what about that one? I'm like, well, I hit it foul, so that doesn't count. Nope. And just like every single time he would like a rule that would go against him. And that's kind of how most games get made.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just a weird, like softball just is a string. Like, again, why not just keep it like A League of Their Own? Why just keep it the way it was?
So going all the way back, where do you land on this? Letting your girls play football?
I'm totally gonna let her play flag football. I think it's great. And you can, you want to get a little contact on flag, go for it. You want to block like Coco plays. Coco's super athletic with her. I think it'd be funny to see Ava just mowing people over for her, right? Which would be great. But there comes a point where it's like, I'm already told her, I'm like, no, you're not playing tackle football ever. You're not playing in Pop Warner. You're not playing with these boys. It's just not doing it. And anybody can call me sexist. They could call me whatever you want. But at the end of the day, like, it's not like physically the same. You're physically outweighed immediately. Mm-hmm. So there's no like, oh, it's fair. It's like, no, it's not. It's not fair. There's not a level playing field at all for her. No matter what, even if she's bigger than them now, she's not going to be bigger than most of them when she gets in age of puberty.
2 years, 3 years.
Yeah. I'm like, nope, it's not happening. So that's, I mean, I flag all day long. Cool. Yeah. You want to play flag?
It's fun. Like, I think it's cool. In fact, so my buddy Jay Deal, apparently he and Walker Shern and I guess Carl, all of their daughters played on the same flag football team this past.
No, they probably all play the same one because everyone's on that team.
Yeah.
And I'm cool.
Yeah. That's totally fine. I'm all on board with that. I think it's cool stuff. But the minute you start to say we're going to put this together and we're going to put pads on and play full contact football, it
better be all girls.
Yeah, it's not the same.
And I don't know, dude, it's so hard. Like, I'm afraid now that I'd be really critical of her because it's like I don't have a son to play football, and I'm already like super competitive. Dude, she did running club the other day. Bless her heart, bro. Like she ran for like, it's like a mile, 1.2 miles or something. I swear, after like 100 yards, she was walking, and I'm like, internally, I'm like, you gotta be kidding.
You get running.
I'm like, why? I'm like yelling across the field, like, why are you walking right now? And I'm like, you know what? Some people just aren't runners. I gotta just let it go.
That's me. I've never been a distance runner ever. Never, ever, ever.
I'm like, don't walk. Like, go slow down your pace. Like, but I'm just.
I will say this: at that age, I never walked a mile ever, and was always run it until I could puke. Like, no, I always did that, but I was never good at it.
He was like, meh. Like, and she's super athletic.
Is it the competitive edge though? Is she like super competitive?
I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know if she is, because if she was, she wouldn't want to be last, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter. Like, you're not gonna. I don't care if I pass out. That's where that. Like, that's
the thing that I loved about CrossFit when I was doing CrossFit. It was the competition.
Yeah.
I am not coming in last, and I am not let that girl beat me. Like, it's that kind of stuff. Like, that was when I was doing CrossFit, dude. I loved that part about it.
CrossFit's a great thing. I think it just took off kind of. There's a lot of people that got a little cocky with, like,
weird.
And then they, like, you have these people that are trainers and they're CrossFit experts because they took an online class.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, Pug, come in here and I want you to do an Olympic lift that you've only done twice, but I want you to max out your weight.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry about your form. We're not going to worry about that. We just want to see how heavy.
Yeah, your spine will be fine.
Yeah, spines are repairable. They got doctors for that. You're good. You're good. You know what?
No, 100%. Yeah. Like I say, I really liked it. I really liked it. But it was one of those things where it started getting to the point where it's like, this is getting weird.
And a lot of people got hurt. A lot of people got hurt. These overhead presses and all these little things you're doing. I'm like, these Olympic lifts, people train for years to do this stuff.
And there is nothing more important when you're doing an Olympic lift than form.
Yeah.
It is the most important part of it. Weight, not that important. I mean, now if you're going to competitively lift, that's a different thing.
Right.
But when it comes to exercise, form is the most important thing.
And cardiovascular, CrossFit's great. Like, you can do what they call Fran, right? It's 21-15-9.
Oh, yeah.
Pull-ups and I think thrusters.
Dude, it's so hard. There were so many things.
Like 6 minutes, you're lying on the floor like wanting to die.
Absolutely crushed. Dude, and you get on the rolling machines, you got to row for as hard as you can for like 2 minutes, and then you got to go and run half of a mile. Like, I'm telling you, it was great when I was doing it, but it got weird.
It does. CrossFit got really weird. Dude, it's a good way to put it. It got weird.
I think that's probably...
You just made it weird.
Yeah.
It's like when your friend takes a joke too far. Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, we've all had that friend.
CrossFit's that friend.
Well, man, I really... It's amazing how we can just go off of nothing, but I didn't really have anything else to say other than happy 75th episode.
Yeah. Awesome.
Rock, why can't you make us love you like we love Stallone and Schwarzenegger?
You know, I do like that he'll like take pictures and photo ops, and like people just like they gush over him.
And that's the thing, he's a good dude.
Yeah,
he is a really good dude.
You know, he buys things for people. He just does good things. He's kind of like Shaq, but you know, Shaq is a kind of like a closset, like really good guy. He's funny.
Yeah.
But when you look at all the stuff he's done, like the fact that he turned down Reebok and was like, no, because then the less fortunate kids won't be able to.
They can't afford to buy my shoes.
So I'm gonna make Shaq shoes and sell them at Walmart. You know, and you're like, and they're still there.
Yeah.
You know,
well, there's tons of things about Shaq that he does that you don't find out about until somebody that he did it for says it. He didn't say it.
And I think he owns like 150 like Five Guys.
Oh, dude, he owns everything.
So he's got nightclubs in Vegas. He's fast food. It's like, how does this guy? It's insane.
Yeah, he is the definition of hands in everything.
Yeah,
all over
good
the place.
for him. He's done it right.
I remember seeing this post that somebody did that where their tire popped on some freeway in Florida, and somebody pulled over to help him out, but they couldn't help it because apparently they didn't have a spare, and the person stayed and watched the kids while the tow truck came. You know who the person was? Shaq. Like, really? How cool is that? Like, he just stayed.
So there's another story, and I thought you were going to talk about it, but it's actually about Donald Trump. His limo breaks down, gets a flat tire, and they are standing on the side of the road. He's in the back. They don't know who he's in the back.
Yeah.
Somebody, I don't know if it's a police officer. I don't know who it is. They come and they change the tire for him on the side of the road. Guy, he never gets out of the car. They go on their merry way. That Donald Trump paid the guy's mortgage off.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
As a thank you. It's like, hey, like you stopped, you did something out of the norm. So he found it. He I don't know how they do it. I mean, I'm sure you could figure it out if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Paid the deed of his whole entire mortgage off. And I'm like, I need to change tires for people. But that's where I thought you were going with that story.
No, I'm not. I wasn't going that way. The thing that scares me though about when it comes to like changing tires, and this is we've talked about this before, is like, dude, other people on the freeway not paying attention.
Well, and that's where you've got to have somebody almost kind of spotting. If you're doing it by yourself, like the police should be there to help you. At least if it, like. Can you? I mean, there's situations where, like, I'm sure guys have been like, "Oh, hey, can you change my tire?" No, bro. Like, but you'd be surprised. I'm sure how many kids don't know how to change tires.
Oh yeah,
right?
no, for sure.
So you've got to be, as a father, I think, whether you've got daughters or if you don't know how to change a tire, you need to learn. But you need to teach your kids to do these things.
And let me tell you this: if you don't know how to change a tire and you're an adult man,
you're not.
I have no idea how you could go on this long without figuring it out. It is of the simplest thing you could do.
It really is the easiest car job to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing about it that is complicated other than making sure that you tighten all the lug nuts.
And just put your emergency brake on so it doesn't roll forward when you pop the tire. That's it.
And loosen the lug nuts before you jack the car up.
Yeah, it's simple little things. But it takes 10 minutes if you know what you're doing.
But anyway. All right, well, I got nothing else, so stay fresh, you cheese bags.
Like Fat Kids and Dodgeball, we're out. The JJ and Puck Show theme song is written, composed, and performed by Lane Hartman. Thank you to Highland Communities for the support of our show. You can find the JJ and Puck Show on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and anywhere you listen to your podcast. Just Google us if you're confused. Remember to share the show with your friends and family. Subscribe wherever you listen. Buy a shirt, reach out to us, and place an order. Each shirt is $20, and if we can hand deliver it, we will, but if we have to ship it, it'll be $25. If you're able, feel free to support us by sending a donation to us by going to kfo.com/the JJ and Pug Show. That's ko-fi.com/the JJ and Pug Show. And thanks again to all who listen. We really appreciate your support for our show, and we hope to continue to grow.